don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh?
People here in the Bay Area and across the country.
Manassa Jordan calls himself a prophet, but those on the receiving end of his messages call him a con man.
Taking Action reporter Jackie Calloway explains why many say they felt powerless to stop him.
Hello?
Robocalls.
My dearest friend, this is Prophet Manasseh.
Many of them posted online.
Email me immediately.
Real nauseating, you know, something you don't want to hear.
Typically promising a financial blessing.
And it also had a prosperity blessing.
Larry Simpson says he never asked the self-proclaimed prophet,
and I hear it right now,
Manassa Jordan, for any prayers.
It really got old quick.
But Larry did ask that his cell phone number be taken off the prophet's list.
The message was, don't call me anymore.
What happened then?
Well, then the calls doubled and sometimes tripled. I probably got close to 300 calls in a year's time.
I found 15 federal lawsuits filed against Jordan or Manassa Jordan Ministry since 2013. A third of them right here in Florida.
It's a pre-recorded message to start with, so that violates the law automatically.
The unsolicited robodialing of cell phones violates federal law. Morgan & Morgan attorney Tav Gomez recently filed suit against Jordan on behalf of Brian Bankos.
It was very, very frustrating.
The Lord began to speak to me, and he showed me major losses that you have experienced over the last 2 to 5 years.
In the lawsuit, Brian accuses the prophet of ringing his phone more than 300 times in a single year.
Having 8 to 9 different numbers call you, it becomes a battle.
Attempts to block the calls failed because the ministry dialed from dozens of numbers.
575-347, locally 813-571-828-307.
In an online interview, Jordan describes his work as a higher calling.
I feel that my calling is to touch the people.
And in a statement, Jordan's PR rep told us, the call complaints and issues have been addressed, and there always has been and remains the option for callers to be removed. Larry and Brian say the calls stopped, but many of the 100 people who contacted Morgan & Morgan claim the ministry ignored their requests to be taken off the list.
They had never called in to get a prayer.
And in some cases, the trouble started after getting a new cell number.
you've been having people attacking you.
I'm glad that there are some people that, want to see this guy nailed.
Now, if you or someone you know was dealing with repeated robocalls to their cell phone, we've got some help for you. Find me on Facebook. That's Action News Jackie. Click like, and then you'll see I've actually posted a link to the Federal Trade Commission. It's right near the top, and you can report it there. I'm Jackie Calloway, taking action for you.
Hey guys, we are back for another video. So this is going to be a deep dive into Manassa Jordan. I thought that he looked very familiar, and I started doing research because I too remember getting a bunch of calls, but for some reason I did not associate him with that person. But my mind led me to search, and clear as day, this is the person that I had thought. But again, this was a long time ago. But now when I see his picture, this is the guy. So this is one of the men that is alleging that something inappropriate happened with him and the bishop. Now, although he has not come out and stated it, he has alluded to it. And you guys know what I mean when I say allude. So I can say something about a creator on YouTube, and you guys will know who I'm talking about without using their name. Like if I say the YouTuber who was previously sued by Cardi B, you would know that I'm talking about Tasha K. Same situation. So he's using indirect phrases to imply that he's talking about Tdjakes without using his name. But in one video, he actually did use Tdjakes' name. So something about this guy just wasn't clicking for me. And I'm going to break it down. According to that news report that you just saw, this guy has 15 federal lawsuits filed against him or his ministries, probably just against his ministry. Obviously, you know, if you incorporate a business, they can, you know, have to go after the business and not you. And this was in the state of Florida. So what he's doing is he has a recorder, a pre-recorder that just calls people trying to get money. Now, I know you guys have to have gotten a call because I used to get them. God has a blessing for your life. I know you have went through something in the last year or 2 years. We all go through stuff. So that message applies to everybody, right? And then to say that you are going to get a financial blessing. So what that does is it strikes to people and people immediately want to give. Because when I watched Larry Reid's video and he said that he gifted the pastor a Bentley and all of this stuff, I'm shaking my head like something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. So one person reported that they got over 300 or in excess of 300 calls in a year to the point that they sued him. So this is the point that I want you guys to get from this. This guy is alluding to Bishop Tdjakes doing something to him. But we know that he has been sued 15 times for calling people with a recorder, which you heard the guy on the news channel say that it's illegal. You can't use recorders to call people. So you are doing illegal things to obtain money. So let's jump into my next point. This is the person that Jordan Manassa is tied to. Now, again, they practically told on themselves. As I told you guys before, I can figure out people by what they say, how they move, and any little innuendos that they may assert. So let me give you an example. Larry Reid made a lot of comments on his YouTube channel that sent me down this rabbit hole because I knew there was more information. For one, he stated he took pictures of someone's text messages without them knowing, but this is supposedly a prophet. Okay. I'm like, okay. So this is what he wants us to know. Because if you truly took pictures of these messages and you did not want him to know that you took those pictures, then you wouldn't have stated it. So what that means is Mr. Jordan, Prophet Jordan, or whatever he calls himself, he knew very well that Larry Reid was taking a picture of whatever that is he had, because it seems like some kind of plot to get money. You feel me? So it seems like Larry Reid, now this is all alleged. I don't know this to be true. I'm just using the brain that God gave me to figure out these scammers. Now, Larry Reid is all on his platform talking about he is the only one that has the information on Tdjakes. Okay, what information? But then he tells other YouTubers not to talk about it because we don't know if what the person is saying is true. So now I'm taken back, because if we don't know if what the person is saying is true, then why in hell are you talking about it? But then he goes to say, oh, well, I can talk about it because I have the receipts. That doesn't make sense, because we are all talking about all the information that's been placed on blogs. Now, I'm starting to wonder, did Larry Reid have a hand in putting this stuff out on Tdjakes? Because it seems like he wants everybody to step away and allow him to talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? Larry Reid is talking about people being groomed. Why is he talking about people being groomed when he has an accuser as well that said he did the same thing to them? So is this story making sense? Why is Larry Reid involved in this? What is his hand, or why is his hand involved in this? It's given very much creepy. There is more than meets the eye with this story. We know Larry Reid's background because the accuser stated it. Now, Larry Reid said that it is untrue, and he would want me to say that he feels that the statements that was made against him are false. But I'm going to say this. How many grown men do you know that's going to go out on a public platform and say that they were abused? And you know when I say abused, what I mean, sex. That's what I mean. So again, there's more than meets the eye. So now we have Tdjakes. Now, I'm not going to lie, there have been stories that's been circulating for years about Tdjakes. But we can only go off of real victims, real people. So it seems like Manassa Jordan is positioning himself as a real victim without coming out actually saying it. Are they together? Is this a plot? Because Manassa Jordan's background is showing that he is a con man. Larry Reid, and by his own words, is playing both sides, which makes no sense. Now, I'm not saying Tdjakes is innocent. If there are victims, they're victims. But is it a possibility that these people are playing in our faces with this information? Are they trying to maybe get money from Tdjakes? I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just talking. This is all alleged. Again, I showed you the video on Manassa Jordan. So, I mean, that's a real video. You can go Google it. Larry Reid's accuser is a real person. You can Google that as well. But the question mark lies with Tdjakes. What is the real story behind this? Why is Larry Reid all of a sudden coming out and he's on, Manassa Jordan's, he's in his, what is that, Instagram messages saying stuff so that the world can see? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.